Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Aimee here. So today we are going to talk about what's new in the book world. What has come out that I'm looking forward to or that has caught my eye. As always in these videos, I know I probably missed a lot of books. So if there's something that you're looking forward to that I didn't mention in this video, let me know down in the comments below. But let's get started because I have some books that came out at the tail end of October, and as we're already in like the first part of November, books have already been released as well. So let's talk about those first. I'm gonna start off with this book because I have a little bit of an announcement sort of to make about it. If you've watched my Vlogtobers, you would have seen me, I ordered this book off of Barnes and Nobles. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I can't get my thoughts together. But anyway, if you watched my vlogs, you have already seen this book. It was released on October 24th. This is Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. This book, my friend Ashley and I are going to be doing a 72-hour readathon. The readathon is going to be on it's going to start December 1st and it's going to end on December 3rd. On December 3rd, we're going to have a little chat group going on over on Instagram. So if you want to be part of that chat group, just go over to my Instagram page and go find the picture that I posted about the readathon and just leave a comment there. And I will be sure to add you to our readers group so we can discuss the book on December 3rd. There's going to be prompts as well. I'll probably do a separate video talking more about like what I'm going to read and the prompts and everything like that. So again, if you want to be part of the readathon or the chat group, just go to my Instagram and leave a comment on that post. If you just want to join us in reading and you don't want to chat with us, that's okay too. So yeah, this is our group pick actually, but you can absolutely don't have to read this if you want to still join in the readathon. But anyway, moving on, like I said, I'll have probably a separate video talking more about that, so stay tuned for that. This is about, of course, Christmas, a thriller set at Christmas time, which I'm all about. It says, a true crime podcaster unwraps a bookseller's dark past and this chilling holiday mystery from a master book list. Against all odds, I'll just try to read a little bit, I won't give too much away. Against all odds, indie bookshop owner Madeline Martin has built a pleasant life for herself, overcoming a traumatic childhood and the daily struggle of caring for an elderly and infirm father. But in the days leading up to Christmas, Madeline's happiness is tested by the arrival of celebrity true crime podcaster Harley Granger, a man whose prodding questions about her most painful memories threaten to bring them back to the surface. Okay, so as I'm reading through here, looks like Madeline has suffered a very traumatic past, and she has lost a best friend that could have been murdered by this serial killer. But there have been more women gone missing since this serial killer has been put away. So is there a copycat, or do they have the wrong man in prison? And I guess the podcaster is jumping in to get the story from Madeline, maybe about her best friend and what possibly might have happened and who might have did it. It sounds fantastically fun, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Also on the 24th, we have a male-male romance being released by Lucy Lennox and Molly Maddox. This is actually the fourth book in the After Oscar series. So it's been a while since I've read this series, and I've read all three of the books in the series. So now we're getting a fourth book. I have enjoyed the series. It's just been a while, and I know Oscar was someone that I think all these men have dated, and it has something to do with that. And apparently he was a good guy. I don't think he was like a bad guy, but it's like Oscar's related to all these men in some kind of way. So anyway, we're getting the 4th book. Looks like this may be a teacher-student relationship, maybe? I don't know. It says, how in the world does a grumpy rancher end up falling for a rich dilettante? Richard Dunning has it all: private school education, an exquisite designer wardrobe, a last name that ensures he's invited to all the best parties, and a skincare regimen to die for. The only thing he doesn't have is a job, or a home, or money in the bank. Not since his dad cut him off. So when his best frenemy approaches him with a bet, spend a month working as a cowhand on some godforsaken Wyoming ranch in exchange for his dream job, he's a little too proud and a lot too desperate to say no. But from the moment Richard and his rhinestone cowboy hat show up at the Silver Fork Ranch, nothing is as expected. Not the beautiful vistas, not the terrifying horses, not the friendly people, not the epic quantities of cow manure, and definitely not Boone Hammond, whose expectations are a little too high and whose kisses are a lot too tempting. But when his month on the ranch comes to a close, Richard must choose: return to the safe, luxurious life he thought he wanted, or risk everything for the love he's been in search of all along. So it looks like we may have like a, I don't know where I saw teacher at. I have no idea. That's why I had to put glasses on. So yeah, no teacher here. I think it's like a more of a ranch hand kind of guy. Cowboy, maybe. A spoiled brat falling for a cowboy. Sounds like fun. I'm all for it. On October 26th, another male-male romance was released by Riley Hart and Nev Wilder. This is Illegal Contact. This is actually book 3 in the Playing for Keeps series. So this one says, I've hated spoiled, cocky Patrick Witt since the first time I saw him at football camp when we were kids. Once we made it to the NFL, of course, he landed on the LA Royals, the biggest rivals of my team, the Denver Rush. Everything about him rubs me the wrong way until one unexpected night we happen to rub each other the right way, and suddenly I can't get enough of him, and Patrick can't get enough of me either. I'm his secret and he's mine, stealing moments together where he comes undone for me. There's more to Patrick than I thought, and now one thing is clear to me: despite all the obstacles in our way, Patrick Witt is mine. That sounds like a lot of fun as well. And the last one for October that I have on my list, this came out October 31st on Halloween. This is People to Follow, and this is by Olivia Worley. I've never read anything by this author. This is a young adult thriller, and it's about influencers. You know how much I love influencers, thrillers all together in one. I don't know why, it's my favorite. It says 10 influencers, 10 secrets, 1 dead body. So it looks like we have the 10 teen influencers come to a remote island to star in a reality show. But when one of them winds up dead, they realize that this time the price of being canceled could be their lives. Welcome to In Real Life, the hot new reality show that forces social media's reigning kings and queens to unplug for 3 weeks and go live without any filters. IRL is supposed to be the opportunity of a lifetime, watched closely by legions of loyal followers. But for these rising stars, including Elodie, an Instagram model with an impulsive streak, Kira, a child star turned fitness influencer, Logan, a disgraced TikTok celeb with a secret, and Max, a YouTube famous for exposés on his fellow creators. It's about to turn into a nightmare. When the production crew fail to show up and one of their own meets a violent end, these 9 little influencers find themselves stranded with a dead body and no way to reach the outside world. I'm not going to read any more. But yeah, that just sounds like a lot of fun. Like I said, you know how I am with these influencer thrillers, and it's a young adult. I'm gonna check it out. All right, jumping into November, we're gonna start off on November 3rd with a male-male romance. This is also within a series that I still need to continue. This is Lube Job by K.M. Newhold. This is the 5th book in the Big Bull Mechanics. I am way behind. I've only read book 1 and 2. The second book kind of, I don't want to say it ruined me, but it wasn't what I was expecting. So I kind of like backed off from the series and started reading other things. But I really do need to get back into this series because I love K.M. Newhold's writing. I love her characters. They're just so much fun. Middle-aged men looking for love. I just love all the puns in the book. It's just a good time. So anyway, we have Lube Job here. This one says, the only thing bigger than Riggs' attitude is his tool. And only one of those problems can be solved with more lube. There's no tragic backstory or closet stuffed full of skeletons from relationships past. I've just never been very good at the very special episodes. If you're looking for a shoulder to cry on, may I suggest a therapist? Casual fun with my emotionally stunted, overgrown frat boy roommate slash co-worker should be perfect, right? Shep seems to be just as allergic to commitment as I am to emotions, but that doesn't mean we don't need our stroker rods serviced, if you catch my drift. Now, if he'll just stop looking at me with those dopey puppy dog eyes while I'm elbow deep in a diesel engine and making my stomach flip with that smile of his, that would be great. Like I said, always a good time with K.M. Newhold and her middle-aged men. I just love it. I really need to get back into this series. Also on November 3rd, looks like we have a standalone from Riley Hart. This is Risk the Fall. Says Risk the Fall is an ex-best friend's brother romance that contains violence, drug use, crime, and death of a non-main character. So just want to throw that out there. We have Ribbon, who says, I've been great at letting people in. Life is easier if I bury my feelings. People tend to let you down, which is only proven when my best friend Rex accidentally kills a man and lets me take the fall. When I get out of prison, the last thing I want is to go back to Clayton, Oregon, but it's where my grandma lives. The only person who's always had my back. My plan is to stay out of trouble, steer clear of my old crew, save up, and the second we can, leave town for good. Then we have Parrish, who says, I want nothing to do with my family and their illegal activities. With Raven back, I worry things will get worse. He and Rex have always brought out the worst in each other, but then I discover Riven went to prison for something my brother did, and my family isn't happy to have him home. Riven wants nothing to do with me, and I don't blame him, but like a moth to flame, I'm drawn to him. It starts out as mutual lust, Riven stating the pleasure he craves while I get to fulfill my first crush fantasies. But with every moment, I see there's more to Riv than anyone knows. Not everyone would see him as a good man, but to me, he's the boy who used to try to keep my family's lifestyle from becoming mine. And now he's the man who risked his heart to fall in love with me, and the one who's risked more to protect me. This sounds really cute and possibly a little on the emotional side, so I'm all about that too. Moving up to November the 7th, we have a thriller that was released by Jilly McMillan. This is The Manor House. This one says a terrifying story of what can happen after all your dreams come true. Be careful what you wish for. Childhood sweethearts Nicole and Tom are a normal, loving couple until a massive lottery win changes their lives overnight. Soon they've moved into a custom-built, state-of-the-art glass born on the stunning grounds of Landcourt Manor in, I'm not sure how to say that. They have fancy cars, expensive hobbies, and an exclusive lifestyle they never could have imagined. But this dream world quickly turns into a nightmare when Tom is found dead in the swimming pool. Nicole is devastated. Tom was her rock, and their beautiful barn, with all its smart features that never seemed to work for her, is beginning to feel very lonely. But she's not entirely by herself out there in the country. There's a nice couple who live in the manor itself, along with their middle-aged housekeeper who has the coach house. And an old friend of Tom's from school has turned up to help her get through her grief. But big money can bring big problems and big threats. Was Tom's death a tragic accident, or was it something worse? That sounds really good. This might be something I need to read sooner rather than later. Also released on November 7th, this is Emmett, and this is by L.C. Rawson, also the author of Lavender House and The Belle of the Fog, as well as Camp. Here we have Emmett. I'm really excited about this book. He has become one of my favorite authors. So this one says is a modern day gay YA. So in this one we have Emmett Woodhouse, handsome, clever, and rich, with a comfortable home and a happy disposition, seemed to unite some of the best blessings of existence, and had lived nearly 18 years in the world with very little to distress over or vex him. Emmett knows he's blessed, and because of that, he tries to give back. From charity work to letting the often irritating Georgia sit at his table at lunch. He knows it's important to be nice, and recently he's found a new way of giving: matchmaking. He set up his best friend Taylor with her new boyfriend, and it's gone perfectly. So when his occasional friend with benefits, Harrison, starts saying he wants a boyfriend, something Emmett definitely does not want to be, he decides to try and find Harrison the perfect man at Highbury Academy, the candy-colored private school they attend just outside of Los Angeles. Emmett's childhood friend Miles thinks finding a boyfriend for a guy you sleep with is a bad idea. But Miles is straight, and Emmett says this is gay life. Your friends, your lovers, your boyfriends, they all come from the same very small pool. That's why Emmett doesn't date, to keep things clean. It continues to say, modern and very gay, with a charmingly conceited lead who is convinced he knows it all, and the occasional reference to the classic movie Clueless. Emmett brings the lush romance all while exploring the complexities of queer culture, where your lovers and friends are sometimes the same person, but the person you fall in love with might be a total surprise. This sounds like just a blast, and I'm ready to read it now. This next one is a cozy mystery. This is actually like book number 20. I haven't read this series in a while, but I've read most of the books in this series. It's one of my favorite cozy mystery series. It's the Coffee House Mystery series by Cleo Coyle. This is Bulletproof Barista. Like I said, book number 20. I don't remember where I left off, but it's been a while since I've read a cozy mystery. But this is one of my favorites, so I just wanted to mention it. For all who love a good cozy mystery, I would definitely check out the series. And if you love coffee, it's fantastic. So this one says, oh, it's a really long synopsis. But it says, when a film crew's location shoot delivers an actual shooting, Claire Cossey finds herself at the scene of a true crime in this show-stopping entry in the beloved Coffee House Mysteries from New York Times bestselling author Cleo Coyle. So yeah, this series also takes place in New York City, where Claire Cossey has a coffee shop. It says Murders in Gotham, the smash hit streaming program, is famous for filming in authentic New York locations and using real New Yorkers as extras. For its second season, they've chosen to spotlight the century-old Village Blend and its quirky crew of baristas. Shop manager and master roaster Claire Cossey is beyond thrilled especially when her superb Bulletproof coffee lands her a craft service contract for the production. Madame, which is Claire's mother-in-law, she's fantastic. The eccentric owner of the landmark shop reveals an old kinship with the star of the show, comedian Jerry Sullivan. Now a Hollywood legend, Jerry frequented the Blend during his early years performing in Greenwich Village comedy clubs, but the past may hold more than nostalgia for Jerry. Suspicious accidents begin plaguing his shoot. Then a real bullet is fired from a stage gun, and Claire becomes convinced something sinister is afoot. So that's all we'll read in that synopsis, because it's really long. But this is a great, fun series if you love a cozy mystery as well as coffee. I love Claire. All the characters are fantastic. Even her ex-husband is fantastic. I love him. His mom is the best, Madame. It's such a good time. I highly recommend the series if you're into cozy mysteries. Releasing on November 15th, we have A Male-Male Romance. This is another one in a series that I need to continue. This is System Overload, and this is the 5th book in the Divorced Men's Club series by Saxon James. This guy on the cover here is giving me Aquaman vibes. Am I not wrong? So this one we have Keller and it looks like Will. This looks like it may be an age gap sort of romance. Because it starts off saying, banging my son's bestie was a total accident that will never, ever happen again. While he might be gorgeous and caught me in a weak moment, when it comes right down to it, my son has been my entire life for the last 26 years. I don't know how to be anything other than his dad. But with Molly heading off to Seattle, he leaves me with a parting gift. Will, his best friend, and my new roommate. Still, I'm determined to focus on my plan of finding someone to settle down with and to start living for me. Then Molly hits me with another gift. He's asked Will to help find me the perfect partner. And then we have Will saying, Molly running away across the country and leaving me made one thing very obvious. I crave stability. I crave a life where I get to control what happens to me without the constant threat of having to move home to my homophobic family. All I need to focus on is work and making enough money for the down payment of my new place, except now I'm living in the spare bedroom of the man I've been in love with for years. The same bedroom where we had one very messy, very quick, accidental fraught sesh. Now I'm cooking him dinner every night and we're working out together every morning. It's all feeling very domestic and my heart can't separate reality from the fantasies in my head. This sounds just, it sounds sweet, and I need to jump into this. Like, I need to read so many series, y'all. It's ridiculous. But this sounds like a really good one. I'm sure you can read all these as standalones as well. I'm sure they have the other guys in the backgrounds, but I think you can go into this without having to read any of the other ones. On November 21st, we have A Male-Male Christmas Romance releasing by N.R. Walker. This is Holiday Heartstrings. This is taking us back to Heartbridge Christmas. This is book number 4. I know for sure I've read the first 2. I don't remember if I got to the 3rd one last year or not. Because every year, she seems to be releasing one every year. So I'm excited about this one because I've really enjoyed them. It says we have Englishman Braff Branson arrives in Heartbridge, Montana to take on a brief substitute kindergarten teacher position. His introduction to the sleepy town is being pulled over for speeding. Not an ideal start, but at least the deputy was cute. Colson Price takes being a deputy very seriously. After all, his job is all he has. Disowned by his family 10 years ago, he's vowed to stay closeted so it won't cost him everything all over again. but the holidays are tough for Coulson, and the new guy in town is far too tempting. With a promise of some very private no-strings encounters on the down low, he can't resist. Brath is charmed by the handsome deputy, the gorgeous town, and the great group of friends he meets. But as the countdown to leaving gets closer, the more tangled the no strings becomes. Oh, so cute. So cute. I can't wait. And lastly, on November 28th, we get a second book, and this is part of a series, it looks like, from Anita Prose. This is The Mystery Guest. I'm really excited about this because I really loved the first book. So it says this is Molly the Maid, book number 2. This to me is in the same kind of category as maybe a cozy mystery, but it's a little up a notch from a cozy mystery. Very hard to explain, but so much fun to read. I had so much fun with the first book, and Molly is such like just a great character, just and very different. You don't read a lot of characters like Molly. So this one says, when an acclaimed author dies at the Regency Grand Hotel, it's up to a fastidious maid to uncover the truth, no matter how dirty. This is it can be read as a standalone, so you don't have to read the first one. Molly Gray is not like anyone else, with her flair for cleaning and proper etiquette. She has risen through the ranks of the glorious 5-star Regency Grand Hotel to become the esteemed head maid. But just as her life reaches a pinnacle state of perfection, her world is turned upside down when J.D. Grimthorpe, the world-renowned mystery author, drops dead, very dead, on the hotel's tea room floor. When Detective Stark, Molly's old foe, investigates the author's unexpected demise, it becomes clear that this death was murder most vile. Suspects abound, and everyone wants to know who killed J.D. Grimthorpe. Was it Lily, the new maid in training, or was it Serena, the author's secretary? Could Mr. Preston, the hotel's beloved doorman, be hiding something? And is Molly really as innocent as she seems? This sounds like a lot of fun. Like I said, the first book I really enjoyed. Molly is such a different character. So fun to read. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one on November 28th. And that's all I got for the month of November. So of course, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. Hope you're all doing well out there as always. Hugs from me all around, and I'll see y'all very soon in another video. Bye y'all.